Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's EJ Marino and this is About Last Night, the show where I talk about the movie I saw last night. We're doing something a little bit different. I've been talking about American Horror Story, but instead of reviewing an episode, I wanted to dive into one subject. That's 11 subjects. I wanted to dive into one subject. We're going to be talking about the best villains of American Horror Story history. The concept of a villain in American Horror Story is really strange for me because there's a lot of unlikable characters, so many people who teeter the line of good and bad, anti-heroes, some people who are just doing bad things for good reasons. There is a lot to talk about within this one subject, but I wanted to focus on 5 just characters and people from the show that I find to be the most disgusting, the scariest, or the ones that I had the most time watching, the best time watching them do evil things. So I'm going to dive into some characters. You might not agree with my top 5 on this list, but let me know all of your feelings down in the comments below. I want to know what villains scared you, what villains entertained you, what villains that almost made you want to turn off the TV because they're so disgusting. Now, I'm going to do some honorable mentions real quick, and this is going to shock people because my first honorable mention is Twisty the Clown. He's not in my top 5. Why? Because I felt his character was overshadowed by another far more scarier character we'll get into, but his character was overshined, but he also had more to him than just being a villain. Yeah, he had that terrifying opening where he kidnapped that girl. Yes, he was doing bad things, but when we see him in that Halloween episode with Edward Mordrake, we see his backstory. I feel something different for Twisty than I do someone like a Dandy or someone like a Fiona. Those characters I feel are irredeemable, and there's nothing good or there's nothing fun about them. Where Twisty's fun, he's interesting, hell, he even becomes a legend in the American Horror Story universe because he's part of the, Twisty the Clown that's in, the Cult. That's the little comic book the little boy's reading. So Twisty, to me, is a pop culture figure in the American Horror Story universe. He's transcended a killer clown and became something cool. He went from John Wayne Gacy to Pennywise. That's a pretty damn good, clown legacy to go through. You don't ever want to be a John Wayne Gacy. I have 2 more honorable mentions I want to quickly talk about. The first one is Bloodyface. There's 2 of them. There is the Dr. Thredson character, and then his son that, honestly, I don't remember his name because he wasn't that impactful. Bloodyface was cool. He was the other Asylum bad guy. There's something we'll talk about from Asylum a little bit later, but Bloodyface was kind of the thread that held together the current storyline and then the 1960s storyline. I like his character. Didn't really do much, Zachary Quinto doing his crazy monologue where he was talking about killing her wife, and then, that scene right before she, killed him. There's a lot that I like. Hell, both, Lana Winters killing both Bloody Faces. There's a lot that I like from the character, but not enough to put on the top 5. Not enough to me to really impact me or really scary. Speaking of scary and scaring me personally, Delphine Lalaurie is one of my honorable mentions. Again, a character that is despicable, especially the real-life version of this character. But in the show, I had fun watching her. She was more of a comedic relief than an actual villain. This season is filled with some people who teeter the lines. Hell, Madison Montgomery in during Coven. Madison Montgomery during Coven was a pretty badass bitch too. But Delphine, she didn't really stick with me as a major villain like the other characters from this. She was more fun. How they even tried to give her a sympathetic route by making her the severed head, and then her stuff with Gabrielle Sidibe's Queenie character. There was a lot that I liked from her that I think is far beyond just a normal villain and less scary than my top 5. Yes, now it's time to jump into my top 5 best villains of American Horror Story history. We're gonna jump through these because there's a lot to talk about in each one, and I want to leave out, I don't want to leave out any of my favorite or least favorite in some cases, things about these characters. So number 5 on my list is Kai Anderson from Cult. Kai scared the ever loving hell out of me. I have openly talked about me not loving Cult as a season, and one of the reasons is how much Kai scared me and how real he felt. I felt like I dealt with this character in my everyday life. I still feel like I'm dealing with these characters. We just heard about this like attack on a gay actor, and it's crazy to see that this character is real, that this character has a place in the American Horror Story universe because he is a real American horror threat. Like, I am so scared by this character, but he represents something all too real. For a long time, these white men have felt shafted by the country. Notice I didn't say straight white men, because Kai did enjoy himself dominating some men from time to time. But anyways, the character of Kai is the embodiment of this disenfranchised person who wanted to fight back and take back control from the soy boy beta cucks, or whatever these Make America Great Again people would say. Look, I don't want to get too political, but I just really feel like Kai is a great character. Even if you do believe in some of the things he was saying, I just think you can even enjoy himself as a exaggerated version of this Make America Great Again person, of this like kind of alpha male thing. I think he's a good parody. So even if you do agree or identify as those things that I'm saying, you can understand that he's a crazy version of all of that and really fun to watch in a disgusting way. I think he had a great ending to his character. I think his plan wasn't that bad, trying to make the cult, trying to ruin Allie's life. There was a lot that I liked that he did. As disgusting as he was a fun villain to watch unfold. He did represent something real and truly scared me, and that's all it takes to be on this list. Number 4 on my list, and someone who I hold close to my heart, she sits right back there, is the Countess. Going from such a grounded character like Kai to the show's most over-the-top villain, the Countess is one of the most despicable villains in the show's history. Like another entry on this list, all she is self-serving and only cares about herself, which is a very deadly quality to have in the Hotel Cortez that's filled with greed, lust, and murder. I really love the Countess. I think she is one of those that's a little bit more fun to watch. She's campy, she has her moments, I think James March is equally as crazy as her, but he has that, love of her. He has that kind of pathetic, sadness to him that I think the Countess uses and manipulates, which makes her a little bit more evil than someone like him. She really doesn't have that. Yes, she has that fascination with all the men that looked like each other, but look what she did for that. She killed for that. She even got jealous of someone like Liz Taylor, who Countess was done with that boy, but wouldn't allow Liz Taylor to have him. I love the Countess, not only because it's Lady Gaga, but the gross stuff that she did. She would have these children to feed off of, never really killed them, but to feed off of. She just manipulated people. She the way she did to stuff to Ramona Royale. She was a despicable character and ran the Hotel Cortez with that iron or steel or whatever that glove was. I just loved watching this character do something evil. Unlike Kai that disgusted me, I don't know someone like the Countess. I've never met someone that fabulously evil, but as a viewer, I thought she was entertaining as hell to watch. Probably my weirdest pick for this list because a lot of people don't like Hotel and don't love Lady Gaga's The Countess. But watch that season again and realize she played everyone, and still, even after she was stuck as a ghost in the Hotel Cortez, still was playing the game, and I love seeing that. What a fun villain. Oh boy, the third entry on my list is Dandy Mott. Another all-too-real character, like a Ted Bundy. Dandy Mott scared the shit out of me. Somehow he was even scarier than the evil clown that was missing half his jaw. Somehow, Dandy was scarier than Twisty. I don't know. Maybe it's those little swirls on his head, or the way he bathed in his mother's blood, or just his general disregard for human life. Dandy scared me. I just remember being okay, I don't really love Freak Show. It's an okay season, but every time Dandy would do something, I would just be mesmerized. Now, another season that is filled with some bad people. You have I can never remember his name, but Dennis O'Hare's character with a really big penis, Stanley, I think his name is. He's disgusting. Emma Roberts' Esmeralda character, not that great. Michael Chiklis' strongman character, he killed Ma Petite, villainous. But something about what Dandy Mott does, I mean, Dandy kills way more than Ma Petite, but something about what Dandy does in this season scares me so much. Like I said, it's that Ted Bundy, that like, he's a rich white male, and the fact that he can do this and no one would even really suspect someone like him, his weird fascination with Bet and Dot, I don't know, I just was so like, I wanted to shower after a Dandy scene because it was so disgusting. And also maybe because I'm slightly attracted to him, okay? My crush on Dandy is why he's one of the best villains, because it almost worked. His creepiness got me to be like, maybe he won't do that to me. Yeah, I would have been a pure, like, murder victim of Dandy, because I would have been like, oh, you can come to your weird shack with me and you can hook up with me, trade. Like, he killed that boy in the underwear. Oh my god. Yeah, Dandy, he's a confusing character for me. Like, when he shot up the freak show, everything about his character is just disgusting, but I kind of like it, and that's what scares me. That's what makes him one of my favorite villains. Keeping on the role of my favorite villains, Fiona Goode. Number 2 on my list is Fiona Goode. She didn't care about her coven, her daughter, or the world. She only cared about herself. Aging, staying beautiful, staying fierce. In the world of American Horror Story, that is scary. I mean, we have some pretty crazy characters. We have, we have Delphine Lalaurie, we said. We have Marie Laveau, 2 of the most infamous evil women in history. Marie Laveau, we'll talk about being evil. That's your own personal feelings about what she does is good or bad. But no one can say Fiona Goode did anything good. Unlike her name, she is not. Like, I think this is one of the most baddest bitches. I mean, she ranks higher than the Countess, and the Countess had a hotel of murder, but Fiona had everything. I mean, to think what her character gave up to be selfish, she could have been the most powerful witch in the world, ran one of the best covens, but didn't care about herself, didn't care about her daughter Cordelia, let her deal with all of that. She killed Myrtle Snow because she wanted to get away with it. Why? Because she killed Madison Montgomery and wanted to get away with that. Like, she just did bad things. Delphine had her funny stuff and tried to redeem herself with Queenie. Marie Laveau had all of her, like, trying to carry her community on her back and would do things to, sacrifice babies to pop a leg, but she did it for herself, but also for her community. Fiona did everything for her damn self. She killed the adorable, oh my god, what was her name? Nan. She killed Nan for no damn reason other than just stupidity. She had the Axeman drama. Fiona Goode was disgusting, but fun to watch. I have someone, I think Evil Bitch or Evil Queen, who comments all the times, you are my favorite and you are one of the reasons I am putting Fiona on this list. Because she is that villain. I mean, there's only someone that ranks higher than her, and we'll talk about why she ranks so high, or it, or him, or they. Oh boy, can't wait for number 1. But yes, Fiona Goode, number 2, she's awesome. You have to admit, she's a great villain. Alright, I just tried to do a fun little tease of what my number 1 pick is, but it's the devil/evil itself. Number 1 is a very abstract pick, but let's get into it. From Murder House to the Hotel Cortez, the possession of Sister Mary or the Antichrist Langdon, the presence of evil or the devil has been on this season, been on multiple seasons and been on this show since the beginning. I really think the idea that evil or the devil or whatever you want to label it in this show runs everything in this show is terrifying. Every one of my villains have been influenced by something satanic, something evil. We have Kai and Dandy, who are so Manson inspired, so Ted Bundy inspired serial killers. You have the Countess and Fiona Goode, who both get their powers or their gimmicks from something satanic as well. And then you have, like I said, Sister Mary, the amazing Lily Rabe character from Asylum, who is pure evil. You have Michael Langdon, who was the amazing villain of Apocalypse, the son of evil. You have Murder House, which is a house of evil. Same thing with the Hotel Cortez. Now, the only seasons that really don't get into Satan stuff, which is cult, Kai has his own things. I don't think Freak Show has a direct connection to Satan or anything like that. But every other season has dark forces, has evil looming over it, having its way with our characters. And I really think evil itself is the scariest villain of all time and has had, honestly, the best villain moments. Can you not tell me Sister Mary being possessed was not one of the best parts of Coven? Can you not tell me returning to Murder House in Apocalypse was not fun, returning to that evil Hell House? Speaking of Apocalypse, I think Hotel Cortez sold me even more when Cordelia walked up in that piece and was terrified. Or when Michael Langdon walked in there and James March was like, that's pure evil. I think that is so awesome that you understand that evil, that whatever this concept of evil or the devil or Satan is, just runs this show in the sickest way. And I think as a fan, that's why I love it so much. I think that just the idea that evil isn't just one person or one thing or one concept, it's everywhere, it's everything. I think that's what sells me on this show more and more every season. So that is it from my best villains discussion, conversation, list, whatever this was. I wanted to talk about villains from American Horror Story with you guys. I don't know if I'm going to always review every episode season by season. It doesn't seem to click and work, but making this list was fun. What did you think? Did you like my list of villains? Did you enjoy this video? Give me a thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. Subscribe to my channel because I love talking about American Horror Story. I will keep doing rewatches. I will keep trying to do more stuff, but I like these lists. Let me know what you thought down below. Subscribe to my channel. I make videos like this every single week. Give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for talking about villains from American Horror Story with me, a non-villain. I'm a good guy, okay?